The following contest is scheduled for a 2-hour time limit. Introducing first, coming from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, wrestling reporter and columnist Justin LaBar. And his opponent, you. Call, tweet, email because you can go one-on-one with Justin LaBar in Wrestling Reality. Right now on Trib Live Radio.
Wow, what a week and a half it's been. I've been to St. Louis and back. I've been on the edge of death and back. And with a beer in my hand, I laughed at all of them in the face. Wrestling Reality's back here on Trib Live Radio. Justin LaBar here with you. Still presented to you by Tailgaters Bar and Grill. And I will first just start off and say I apologize. We couldn't make it the air last week. Those of you on Facebook and Twitter already know the story. Those of you who don't, I'll give you the full version in a little bit, but I'll just say that things out of my control. I swear to God. We got a hell of a show coming up here. We got a lot to talk about. We basically have 1000 and 1001 all to talk about. Stories in St. Louis with WWE, all that and more. But let's get into 1001 last night. We got to stick with what happened the night before. Last night in Cincinnati, Ohio, and we started off with the explanation of a fire that took place in the building on the set. Ironically, on the new part of the set. This caused fans to be coming in the building late. Caused a little bit of an odd start. They went right to a video package to start things with. They ended up showing and explaining this fire probably 5 times throughout the next 3 hours. I think it's more over and we got more TV time than Ryback does. Nonetheless, they eventually get to CM Punk coming out, directing his attention to Jerry Lawler sitting, legs crossed, on top of the announce table, talking about what Jerry Lawler said the week before as CM Punk walked off the 1000th Raw, and Jerry Lawler said that he had turned his back with everybody. Well, CM Punk addresses that. He also addresses The Rock, and he says every week should end the way the 1000th Raw did. Every week should end with the focus on the WWE Champion. Big Show comes out, reminds him that Punk only has the belt because he helped him. Cena then comes running out after Big Show. AJ, who's our new GM, that's happened since we last spoke, she announces that the winner of a Big Show versus John Cena match will face Punk at SummerSlam. It doesn't take the Mayans or Nostradamus to tell you how that match is going to end. I'll tell you what, I don't know what I'm going to be more excited about when Big Show retires. I don't know if I'll be more excited for the big man to go in the Hall of Fame or no more matches with John Cena. Too many in their careers. Santino versus Alberto Del Rio. Quick work as Del Rio wins. He says that he won't compete in a match until it's a championship match, which we assume will be at SummerSlam. This is a very logical thing to do. I like it. Well, even though the match hasn't technically been announced, we kind of assume, I guess, that he's going to be back in the World Heavyweight Championship match at SummerSlam. So if you're a number one contender for a belt, why wouldn't you boycott other competition? Why wouldn't you say, you know what? I'm not going to put myself at risk. I'm not going to waste the time. I like it. Logical storyline. Brodus Clay, he gets interrupted by Vicky Guerrero. This was good heat on Vicky to interrupt Brodus during his dance, and it kept from Brodus' dance to finish and the pyro to come out of the ring post, because apparently no pyro allowed last night after the mishap prior to the show. Damian Sandow then comes out. He eventually attacks Brodus Clay, cuts awesome promos as he always does. And can you smell that? Can you smell it? No, ignore the fire. Can you smell that? Yes, it's the smell of money. Damian Sandow is money. Daniel Bryan walks into AJ's office in a surprising error by WWE. It's a live segment here. The camera follows Bryan into the office, and you can blatantly see the entire left side of your screen for about a quick second is the behind-the-scenes production there in the makeshift office. So just kind of surprised. WWE normally wouldn't let something like that slip, but nonetheless. AJ gives Daniel Bryan a non-title match against Sheamus. Fans, the power is in you. It's Raw Active. 3-hour Raw Active. You can vote. Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan. You can vote. Do you want a Falls Count Anywhere match? Do you want a no disqualification match? Or do you want a street fight match? The real power is if you could tell me and sell me on the difference of any one of those three. All of them allow you to use weapons and not be disqualified. All of them allow you to fight wherever you want. But hey, the power's still in your hands. Despite the ridiculousness of the voting, fans got a great match between these two. Kind of makes up for the 18-second shortcoming at WrestleMania. Sheamus goes over. Bryan screams for a doctor. Out comes some guys in white. One of them, Prime Wrestling's own Matt Mason. They help escort Bryan out of there. And oh, I cannot forget, before Bryan got taken away by the men in white, Kofi and R-Truth come out for the next match, and Bryan kicked little Jimmy. Yeah, then he got taken away to go be evaluated by Nutcase Doctor. Titus O'Neil beats Kofi Kingston, but the real story here is what AEW said with his live headset mic at ringside. We'll play that audio and talk about that in just a little bit. Heath Slater, who has been beaten by legends, finally challenges any current WWE superstar, and here comes the man who used to be called the Legend Killer. Faux Hawk and all, Randy Orton. He comes back, easily beats Heath Slater, as he is back from his 60-day, I think he's calling it a vacation. Daniel Bryan screaming yes at the doctor who, as he gets evaluated. Chris Jericho and Christian beat Dolph Ziggler and The Miz. Anybody else curious about the amount of purple worn in this match? Anybody? Maybe? I don't know. Couldn't have been me. I couldn't have only been the only person that noticed it. Jericho gets attacked after the match, though, by Dolph Ziggler. Briefcase at hand. Looking forward to where this goes for SummerSlam. Tensai beats Tyson Kidd. Andy beats down Sakamoto, but then because of the constant beatdown, the ref reverses the decision, gives the win to Tyson Kidd. Bryan gets told by the doctor that he isn't insane. He's not insane. And then as the doctor leaves, in comes Kane in the room. A room which is not padded, by the way. And he beats up Daniel Bryan. And finally, Big Show Cena. You know the drill. 9 minutes of back and forth, bear hugs, and more. Cena lifts up Big Show, but in the end, CM Punk attacks both men, leaving AJ to announce that CM Punk will defend his championship, against both Big Show and John Cena. Could have told you that one. We're going to take a break. 412-320-7925, sportstalk@tribweb.com. Tweet me at Justin LaBar. We're going to talk about St. Louis. We're going to talk about DX Reunion, CM Punk heel turn, AW's comments, tons and tons and tons. Of course, your calls, emails, and tweets on the next hour and 50 minutes here. Trib Live Radio's Wrestling Reality, presented to you by Tailgaters.